back to my channel. It's Hillary Jubilee. If you're new, I talk about manifestation, conscious creation, and the law of assumption. Please hit the subscribe button down below and we will get right into it. I want to mention that I offer coaching and I am doing a giveaway right now for free coaching. There will be 3 winners and that giveaway is happening on my Instagram. So if you want to check out that giveaway over on my Instagram, I will link that down below. So today's video is going to be about how to drop the old story. So one good way to drop the story, regardless of what the topic is, if it's about SP, money, health, it doesn't really matter. But one good thing that you can do is take pen to paper and purge out the old story. So purge out all of the, if it's SP, purge out all the traits you don't like about the person, purge out any, circumstances that may have occurred in the past with the two of you that you don't like, traits, circumstances, whatever. Just get it out of your system and onto the page. And it can feel very satisfying to purge that out. It just feels you feel relief after you just get it out. Like it's banging around up in your head. Get it out onto paper once and for all. That like make a decision. This is the last time you're gonna tell this story. This is the last time you're gonna allow yourself to tell the story. So write it down on a piece of paper. What is the old story? Get it out of your head and onto the page. And then what you can do from there is flip each trait or circumstance to the ideal. With SP, the purging, could be things that you don't like about that person, circumstances or ways that they've treated you that you don't like. With money, it could be money's hard to come by or whatever belief that you have about money that doesn't serve you. And with health, it could be you may have some doubts about manifesting health. You may not think it's possible. If that's the case, I do suggest that you listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I actually just came across a video. I can't think of the name of the channel right now, but I will link the video down below. He talks about his daughter, how she spoke into existence, giving herself appendicitis. And she was in the hospital and he imagined her being well, and the doctor went in to take out her appendix, whatever. Like I've said in the previous videos, I'm not a scientist. But anyways, the doctor went in to take out her appendix. She had appendicitis and she had to get her appendix removed. Let's hope that's correct. And anyways, the doctor went in there and the doctor was so shocked and said that the appendix had just removed itself. Like it was still there, but it was like already cut off or something. And it was like perfectly, I'll link the video down below. He explains it way better than I'm explaining it, but it's a health miracle basically. And he has multiple other health miracles that he explains in there. So anyways, back to the purging. So if you're purging out a story, if it's about health, if you have some limiting beliefs where you don't think that, first of all, you haven't bought the pearl if you don't believe that imagination creates the reality. Imagination is the only cause. Imagination creates reality. There is no other cause. Like Neville says, you have to buy the pearl and get rid of all of those other little beliefs and other things. Imagination creates reality, and that is it. That's the law. But if you've got limiting beliefs around health, purge those out. And then what you can do from there, you've gotten the old story out onto paper. So now take each trait, each limiting belief, each circumstance that you didn't like, and flip them to the ideal. So SP, they are distant. Now you guys are closer than ever. With money, money's hard to come by. Money flows to me like water. Flip them to the opposite of what your ideal reality would look like. Health, I don't believe that I can heal my body with my mind. Flip that to imagination is the only reality. I am always in perfect health, whatever affirmations. And it can just be one word, like with SP especially, it could just be traits, like one word traits. And you just list like how would you want to feel in that relationship, list those out. And then you can pull your affirmations or your new story from those lists of the ideal. And it's not necessary, but you want to get rid of that old story on the paper. Like you can crumple it up and recycle it. You could burn it. You could whatever, rip it up if that makes you feel good. To take an actual action where you're physically burning it or physically ripping it up, and like to kind of make it final that you're like, okay, this is done. It's gone. We're not we're not telling that story anymore, it's gone. So that is one way that you can drop the old story. And sometimes those physical actions that we do, it's not necessary, right? Because imagination is the only cause. What we do in the 3D isn't necessary, but it can help with, you know, the mindset of, okay, physically this is done. We're done with that story now. We're literally ripping it up, we're burning it, we're flushing it down the toilet. I don't care, recycle it, you know, like just get rid of it so you don't have to look at it again. And now you've got the new story. And not to say that when you do this, it's never going to come up again. It takes practice and persistence to, you know, stick to that new story. You're training your mind in a different way. You're teaching your mind a new habit. Your mind wants to go the same old route. You know, what it's comfortable with is going the same old route, but you're training your mind. That's why manifestation is not a quick fix to get your SP or a quick fix to, you know, manifest an item or something. Like, it's not like, oh, let's get into manifestation and just like, I mean, you can do that, but the best results are when you actually adopt it as a lifestyle and you know, let it run into every area of your life. Ultimately, it does take you just need to make the decision. You're making a decision to think in a new way. It's not just like, oh, let's watch a million videos and like constantly looking for answers. Like, it needs to be put into practice. You need to be practicing going into the state. Ultimately, if you're asking how to drop the old story, you are not in the state of the wish fulfilled. You're not living in the end. If you were living in the end, if you were in the state of the wish fulfilled, you would not be looking around for answers. You would not be, there's no old story, there's no lack when you know who you truly are and when you feel and know that it is done. When you're in the state of the wish fulfilled, you know it's done. There's no wavering. When you're living in the end, you are unmoved by adverse appearances. Whatever comes up in the 3D, you know how this ends. It doesn't matter if it looks like it's getting worse, doesn't matter if it's opposing, doesn't matter who said what. You stick to your imaginal scene, or you stick to your state, or you stick to, you know, your affirmations, whatever helps you, you know, keep your vision on the end, and you persist in the end no matter what. I'm gonna read a quote from Neville Goddard, as I like to do. This law is based upon a principle. If you want something, you can have it, but you must be willing to give up what you are now in order to be who you want to be. So when you're changing states into the version of yourself who already has your desire, that old version of you has to die. That version of you does not exist anymore. You're stepping into a new state. This new version of you has your desire. You know, how would you feel if you had your desire right now? Right now, right now. Not, you know, after you've done your affirmations for a week, not after you've done 6,000 affirmations every day for a week, not after you've scripted for this amount of, just forget about that. It's just all we have is right now. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. Time is a human-made construct that actually doesn't exist. So the only moment we ever have is right now. So ask yourself right now, what state am I in? If you're telling old story, that's a reminder that you're not in the state. You're not in the state of the wish fulfilled. I'll make another video on how you can get into the state, but it's feeling like you have your desire right now, basically. Another trick that is really good, if you've never watched Caleb from Pluto's Gate, I highly recommend his channel. He is amazing. All of his videos are straightforward and I highly recommend him. His technique that he has when the 3D looks like shit and, you know, your circumstances look not great. The technique that he says to use, which has proven useful to me, is I don't like the way things look right now. Don't like it. But I'm still gonna get what I want. It's an easier transition rather than, you know, you're not being delusional by like, oh, I don't see it, like trying to like resist your reality. It's like, okay, you accept where you're at, you know it's not final. You accept where you're at, but you know it's not final. I don't like how it looks. You don't have to like how it looks. You can acknowledge it. But I'm still getting what I want. You know it's done. You're imaginal, you've got your end. You have decided on your end. You know how this story ends. You know how the movie ends. So anything in between, you may not like how it looks, but you're still getting what you want. So that's a really good technique to use when old story not just comes up in your mind, but, you know, when you're seeing 3D circumstances come up that you don't like. Another good tip for dropping the old story is either put yourself up on the pedestal, if you want to put yourself up on the pedestal, or make everybody level. So take whatever you're manifesting, money, SB, health, house, car, whatever it is. If you're placing it above you, take that, you know, take the external, there's nothing external, but take that external thing that you're manifesting off the pedestal. You are God of your reality. Everything is part of you. Nothing is separate and nothing is bigger than you. You take a step back. Whoa, take a step back. You're too close to it. Take a step back from it. And to take a step back from it, when you're too close to something, it looks bigger than it is. It looks bigger. Take a step back and remember who you are. If you don't like the word God, you're source. You're the universe. You're infinite intelligence. You are God. Nothing is bigger or separate than you. You know, it's all, imagination is the only reality. It's all a part of you. Everything, everyone is you pushed out. Nothing is separate. So take a step back, focus on yourself, put yourself up on a pedestal. If you don't like, you know, it's not an ego thing, but it's just like, you know, build your self-concept up, build yourself up, focus on things for you. What I tell my clients is to make a routine for yourself, especially if, you know, circumstances of the world are getting to you. Manifesting your SP or manifesting your whatever it is that you're trying to manifest should not be your only focus in your whole, it should not be the thing that your world revolves around. Focus on you. Do things for yourself. As soon as you turn your attention away from the lack of the thing, it comes in because you stop looking and pointing at the lack. Why isn't it here yet? Why isn't it here yet? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I've been affirming for X amount of days. I've been doing this for too long. Like, no, time does not exist. All that matters is right here, right now. How do you feel? How do you feel? If you feel lack, something is not right. You need to focus on you and build your self-concept up and understand who you really are. That's why I say, you know, it's not a quick fix. You're doing inner work. You're training your mind to think in a different way. And it's a lifestyle and it's a journey. It's not just a quick fix. Like, oh, I mean, things could happen in a matter of freaking minutes. It just depends on how much you're willing to commit, how much you're willing to commit to change and commit to the new state. So to recap, you can purge it out and then flip the traits to the ideal and take your new story and new affirmations from that new list. And ultimately it just takes the decision. You're making a decision. I'm sick of manifesting the same old stuff over and over. So I'm making a decision to drop that old story and to build myself up and to change states into the version of me who already has what I want. And when you're the version of you who already has what you want, it wouldn't make sense to be looking around for it. You already have it. There's no lack. You have it already. That's all I have for my video today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. My baby. Oh, my baby. Oh. Always stealing the damn show. Lights come on and Bambi comes out. Okay. Oh my goodness.